for k in terms of a. So k squared is equals to, so k squared plus 6k plus a is equals to 0. So how do we solve for k? So I'm going to use the rule of quadratic, which is x is equals to negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over the 2. So because here we are solving for k, not x. We are solving for k, not x. So that we can actually use this k in terms of the a. So I'm gonna say k is equals to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over the 2a. So what's next? The next we are going to do is substitute everything. Substitute. So 6 plus or minus, and then negative 6, 6 squared minus 4. A was 1, and then c was the a all over the 2, and then 1. After that, I'm using my calculator to calculate. Actually, I'm gonna say 6 squared is equals to 36. 36 minus 1 times a is 1, and then a times 4 is 4a all over the 2. What are we going to do next? So I'm going to say k is equals to negative 6 divided by this 2 here. So I am splitting everything, and I'll say plus or minus this 36 minus 4a all over the 2. So we need to actually find the a. So we need to solve for k in terms of a. So what are we gonna do next? We know that negative 6 divided by 2, we get negative 3. Am I right? K is equals to negative 3. What about this one? So I'm gonna say plus or minus. We have 36. Square root of 36 is actually the 6. So we have a 2 here. We have 4a, we have 36. So if we divide 4 by 2, we get a 2. And then if we say 4, you get a 2. 4 square root of, you get a 2. So what's next? So 36 divided by 4, you get a 9. 36 divided by 4, we get a 9. And then 9 times 3 is equals to 18. We want the answer that will give us the 36. So I'm gonna go to my calculator and say 36 equals to shift right. I get it 4 times the 9, because we have a 9 here. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say 4 times 9 minus 4a all over the 2. So we have this ones. So we have put it at everything inside of brackets. So we want the lowest common denominator. So actually not the lowest common, the lowest number. The lowest number is 4 here. So in order for us to actually do everything, I'm gonna remove this 4, because if you say 4 times 9 you get a 36, and then 4 times the a you get a 48. So I'm gonna say k is equal to negative 3 plus or minus, and then you're like 4 9 minus a all over the 2. And then what's next? So square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 4 is 2. So I'm going to say k is equal to negative 3 plus or minus square root of 4 is actually 2, which in case I'm going to put it outside and be left with a 9 minus the 8, all divided by 2. 2 and 2 they cancel and end up with k is equal to negative 3, and then plus or minus 9 minus 8. So the final answer is when we write these things in terms of a, we're gonna write it like negative 3 plus or the minus 9 minus 8. This is how you're gonna write it. Is 9 minus the a. The next one says you solve y in terms of p, q, r, p, w, r, which in case we have p, q, and r. And then we can see that they say this, we must solve for y, not x. In the beginning, they said we must solve for what? For k. Here we are going to solve for y. So we're going to use our quadratic equation again. So this is solve for y. And then this is solve, and then the top one was solve for k. So we're going to do a quadratic again. How are we going to do the quadratic? We're going to say y is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac and then 2a. Okay, after that I'm going to say y is equal to q negative q plus or minus q squared minus 4, a was p, and then c was r. C was the r. After that, I'm gonna say all over 2 and then p. I've said it, and after that, what's gonna happen? Because I've written everything, I've substituted everything in a quad equation. So I'm gonna calculate everything. Negative q plus or minus this one. Q squared, I get a q squared minus p times r, I get a pr, and then 4 pr all over the 2p. What is next? Let me think about it. So we have p, we have q, we have q and p. So the same we must solve for y in terms of p, q, r, in terms of all of this. So which means that there's nothing we can do more, because this is how we will solve everything. We have our p, and then we have our q, and we have our pr. So there's nothing we can do next, and then we have to be done.